Well, the 2023 official campaign will be kicking off in few days. And well, political parties are gearing up towards the campaign. What are we expecting from them? What is the electorate expecting from them? I've got two political analysts who will be joining me to x-ray the forthcoming campaign and what the electorate should expect. Sitting very close to me is Honorable Oses Eromosele. He's a political analyst and a politician. Good morning, Honorable Oses.
Good morning. I'm so good. Thank you.
Welcome on the show. Well, sitting close to him is no other person than Honorable Ambassador Herring Asemota. He's also a political analyst and a politician. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Okay, let me start with Honorable Eromosele. What is the effect of the campaign to the electorate?
Thank you so much. The effect is key, you know. That's the avenue to let the people know who they are to vote for. Like an opportunity for every candidate to come out to like, okay, this is what I'm set to do, letting the whole, voters know their manifesto. This is what I want to do. This is how I want to change things this time and all of that. It's actually key, That's the process. Like every candidate had an opportunity during the campaign to express, or rather to explain to every person out there, this is what I'm set to do when I'm voted into office, or rather when I come into office. It's key. It's key. Thank you.
Well, to an extent, Honorable Asemota, the electorate have lost hope in the campaign process. Why? To some people, they feel politicians don't keep to their campaign promises. Is that correct?
Well, in the past, yes, I will agree. But I know that things are getting different now because Nigerians are beginning to be very enlightened. Before now, you just see, they say election is in another 1 month. But now we have about 6 months, 5 months to election. So you have to come and sell yourself to the people. Let the people know your plans for them, what you are set to do. Unlike before, when you say if you are a candidate of a political party, you are already a winner. There was a time they used the adage that even if they bring out a goat, the goat will win. But I'm very happy that things are getting different now. Yeah. And the electorate are more wiser. The electorate are more conscious of what they want. Now they really know what they want now. And things are not going to be business as usual.
Okay, talking about things not being business as usual, Honorable says, well, campaign doesn't give room for feedback. Yeah. Campaign is a kind of a one-way flow. You politicians just come and you tell the electorate what you want to do. And in most cases, these people don't have opportunity to ask questions on the campaign ground. Don't you think we should extend our style further and have debate? Let's have more of debate instead of campaign. What's your opinion on that?
Thank you so much. What you just said is already ongoing. It's beyond you coming to campaign to tell people what you want to do. We've seen situations before now where some candidate comes out to say, we'll tie social road from here to this, we'll do scholarship, we'll do all of that. These persons ended up doing nothing. Some even said, when they are voted into office, they'll make $1 to £1. Fuel won't be free. There'll be oil wells everywhere, refineries working. Today, we see nothing. So for this electorate, for Nigerians to sit down, for a candidate to come again to say, I will tie road from here to Israel, from here to South Africa, they already know their lies. It's based on what you have done, based on your person. That's how they are going to vote this time. Presently, no campaign have really not started, but you could see some of us politicians, we've already started consulting and all of that. We know the feedback we are getting from people. I was somewhere some days ago, some person said that we know you very well. We don't expect you to start telling us what you will do. We already know what you will do. Based on antecedents, So when you are coming to say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, you may just be saying all of this just because you want to vote from the electorate. And this time they are wise. So you cannot come to say, oh, I'm a social party because the party is everywhere. It's not going to work this time. Nigerians are set to go for who they know is going to lead them. And they are wise to know such people.
Okay, Honorable Asemota, campaign has not started officially, but we've seen cases where some political parties have started having rallies and march on behalf of some candidate. Do you think that is a good one? Because INEC actually said no political party should have any form of campaign till the official date. Do you think these individuals are going against INEC's directive?
Well, it depends on what you call rally. It depends on what you call match. But I think what I've been seeing is match. I don't think it is campaign.
You think so?
Yes.
But parties have been mentioned.
No,
candidates have been mentioned.
That is sanitization.
Yes.
There's a difference between campaign and people doing road march. When you are doing road march, it's like they don't, because it's politics, they don't call it protest. They call it road march. They want to sanitize people because they are protesting against the bourgeois. They want the people to know that it can never be business as usual. No, the problem we used to have is that a lot of people will say, I'm not interested in politics, whether we vote or we don't vote, our vote will not count. But they found out that their vote will count now, that they've been missing it. So people have taken their destiny into their hand to say, enough is enough. We must correct what has been happening. So the people are politically conscious. That is what you are seeing, that the people are already politically conscious. They are not waiting to say, we want to sit in our houses on the day of election, I have my PVC, I will not vote. That is why you will see a particular area will register about 7,000 or 10,000 voters. Only about 200 people will come and vote. But this time you are going to be shocked that the numbers of persons that will come out will be up to 90 to 95% of the registered voters. And those who believe that it's going to be business as usual, they are going to fail woefully. Yes, your money will not do anything. It is your pedigree and who you are that will sell you now.
Honorable Asimota, I'm still with you. Now, but some other people came and opposed these rallies and this march in courts. And they said, no, these people are not supposed to be on the street till the campaign starts.
The reason is that because they are afraid.
Yes.
They are just afraid. Those are the set of people I'm telling you now who believe that it will be money as usual. They will bring that money, they will throw it. They believe that we are, dogs that you just throw meat to, they will run to it. But now, that money you stole, people will collect it, they will do the right thing.
So we are saying, Honorable says, that the narrative is changing.
Yes. It's so clear, you could see, I agree totally with what he
The way you are concurring to Honorable Asemota's submission, I don't understand.
No, the truth of the matter is Nigerians are tired. Nigerians are tired. If I'm to travel to a particular place, I don't have money to carry securities. Security is not even safe. I cannot travel on a convoy now. You saw what happened in Anambra some time ago. Even when I have the money to run the convoy, I won't try it. I won't try it. It's risky. Nigeria is no longer safe. This is what we want to change. How can you explain this? A graduate left school 6-7 years ago. All he could do, the job available is for him to work in an ATM, in a POS stand. At the end of the day, he's receiving a salary of 10,000 a month, a graduate. You see them riding keke nape, you see them riding bikes, you see them doing taxi. It's wrong. These are the set of people who said they are tired of what is happening. This money is in the hands of few individuals. They are coming every 4 years to come and deceive us, bringing their money. I was somewhere yesterday when we were talking. I had some youth saying they are waiting for them to come and bring money for them to work for them the election. He just said it. They are ready to take this money from these individuals and vote for their choice. Do you get? So enough is enough. We Nigerians, we are tired.
But we've heard this saying before. I have to pause here. We've heard this saying before. Bring the money, they'll take the money and vote their choice. And at the end of the day, we still come back to where we start from.
Not anymore. Nigeria was not as bad as this as at that time. You know, as I speak now, my brother, go out from your office, just interview like 4 or 5 persons. You hear their response. You hear the response. Presently, things have gone up in the market. You cannot afford anything. Yet the few individuals who are working, their salaries have not been increased. It's still the same salary they are receiving. And yet you have kids in school, their school fees is 100 or something thousand. Basically in Nigeria today, 99% of civil servants today are indebted. They are servicing loans.
99%.
99%.
How did you get to that conclusion?
Now, it's obvious, it's a fact. If you ask how I got that, you are not being sincere because you know what is happening in the country. Now, your salary is 50,000. You have 4 children, you have 4 kids who are in school. Maybe some are in the university. Their school fees is 200 something thousand, 100 something thousand. And their parents, their salary is 45,000, 80,000. If they are not indebted, how are they going to train those kids? How are they going to train them?
Let me take you back. You said in the past, they collect money and still vote for.
Go back to the same order.
It means you are still living the old order.
Really?
If from what happened in Osun and from what happened in Edo State in 2020, it's an eye opener. The people have tested the water. What
I will say after that.
What APC spent in Osun is 3-4 times what PDP spent. But Adeleke took the day because the people have decided that this is the way they want to go.
The essence of this discussion is not to project any political
Listen, that election is already over.
Yes.
That's why I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
Like what happened in the day in 2020.
Okay.
I was in APC then. I knew what APC spent. I knew what PDP was spending. I knew who won the election. It's not these days it's not about it's not about money anymore. It's about your pedigree, it's about who you are, it is about what you have done before, it is about what the people know about you. The people are very conscious now. They are aware that their destiny is in their hands. If they want to throw it to the gutters, it's left for them. And I'm very sure that as of today, no person wants to throw his destiny to the gutter or that of his children. Today you find out in Nigeria, people celebrate Yahoo. People will go and register their children as if they are going to register them for mechanic or for electrician, as an apprentice. You can imagine a parent taking the child to register as a Yahoo. That is the height of impunity.
That's what they call it.
Yeah, that's what it
I don't know. You know, so you can imagine in a country like Nigeria, things like that are happening. It has tell you how bad things have gone. So the people are not ready to take chances anymore.
Okay, let me quickly add to this. You know what he said just now? He said during that time he was an APC. I can remember what happened, what transpired then. You know, our beloved Governor Baseki, at that time they were playing the election, he ran as the governor. You know what happened? You know the forces that was against him. He came out to tell the whole Edo like that.
For his second bid.
Yes, he told Edo like he's not going to spend money. He's not going to start sharing money. He said he has performed as a governor. He said based on that, I want Edo to vote for me, and he stood by his word. I could remember then people were saying PDP governor didn't bring money. How will he win the election? He came out to tell Edo like based on what he have done, he's not going to give a dime to anybody. They should go there and vote for him. He won the election. We all come at a mass to support him. You heard what he said? He said he was in APC then. Yes. The way he said it, that means he's no longer in APC because he saw that APC have failed woefully.
No, you don't have to say that.
Okay, sorry.
You don't have to say that. Let's no tongue lashing of any political party on the show.
It's okay. It's okay.
You see,
now you saw that the governor actually won the election. We voted for the governor based on what he has done. That's why we voted for him. Today, you see what is happening in Edo. He is working, even to date, he's still working, you know. And I am not regretting voting. I have never regretted voting for him because he did excellently well. But for that of the
no tongue lashing of political party. Please, let's stick to that.
We are sticking
your
to
submission. Hope we are not. It's not going to.
No, I just want to say that as of today.
Okay.
It is not about political party anymore.
That is it. And let me tell you something.
You're interjecting. Honorable says. You're interjecting.
You are a Labour Party. I'm an NNPP man. You see, today it's not about political party. It's about the individual. It is about who you are. You will be surprised that somebody is voting for Mr. A for president. He's going to vote for another party for Senate. He's going to vote for another party for rep. He's going to vote for another party for House of Assembly. Nigeria is as wise and civilized as that as of today. So the issue of political party will not play any factor as far as this election is concerned. I just want to clear that. It is going to be based on pedigree, based on individual. If you have a credible candidate in Labour Party, people will vote for him. If you have a credible party in somebody in NNPP, people will vote for him. If you have a credible person in APC, people will vote for him. Even in PDP, it depends on the candidate the party is presenting. Okay. The point I'm trying to make is gone are the days to say the moment you get your nomination under any political party, you are already jubilating. You are already doing Thanksgiving. It is not business as usual anymore. Okay. Now it is the people against the bourgeois.
Okay, Honorable says, please ensure you are not interjecting and when your co-analyst is actually giving their submission so that we can actually move smoothly on the show. Now, let me come to you. From his submission and your submission, it's obvious that money politics will not actually have a play, have a say in the 2023 elections. Yes. But don't you think the politicians, the political class are the major problem here?
Yes, not just them. Any person who agrees to take this money from these individuals to go and buy vote is even more wicked than the person who brought the money. Okay. Because the reason is this. They will not, the highest they will give is 10,000 naira. And what will that one do for you for the next 4 years? For instance, somebody who is going to bring 50 million, maybe you're contesting for House of Assembly, you go and bring 20 million to share. When you get to the office, you're sure not going to do anything. Is that money you are going to recover first, to return back where you got it from? Nigerians are aware of this. So if you are coming to say, oh, I have money to come and share because you want position, that money is going to be collected from you. And at the end of the day, you will lose woefully. Because now the people are wise. My brother, if you go out there, you will see that Nigerians are suffering. 4 days ago, I have a friend who graduated together from Abu Salim University. He called me. He said, Honorable, I said, what? He said, please, I'm in need of something. I was like, money. I said, you know, I am contesting for an election and all of that. He said, yes. He said, please, my family, we have not eaten. I said, what's the challenge? He said, I need just 1,000 naira. Tears came out from my eyes. This guy who graduated together many years ago, he's looking for 1,000 naira. What? I said, what do you want? He said, want to buy water. There is no bag of water in the house. I was crying. My brother,
but don't you think that's just a means to just get your attention?
No.
Or to just gain sympathy?
Not at all. I knew what he was going through. A lot of them like that. I was not forced to send 5,000 to him because I was really touched. This is how the average Nigerian lives. They are suffering. Nobody, if you won't approach the bank to say, okay, I want this, they will not give you. So what is left for you now? You want to take 5,000 naira to vote the same people who put you in such a situation? 1,000 times no. At this time, we are ready. Like for me, I'm so passionate about my party. I'm so passionate because I want change. I want the narrative of politics in Nigeria to change. I have kids. Presently, I have 3 kids. I know how much I'm paying for their school fees. I know how much. When I was in school, then I could remember my parents paying my school fees 200 naira.
Back then?
Yeah, back then. Now, I'm paying my kids' school fees a primary school child, school fees is 270,000 naira. I have to, think of how to get that money to pay 3 of them for that matter. Just take a look at what is happening in the country. My brother, I'm telling you, this time Nigerians are wise. I communicate with people, I go out with people, I know what their responses are.
All right, thank you so much. Honorable Asemota, without mentioning names, looking at the downturn in economy, do you think we have any of these candidates that have the capacity to lead Nigeria out of insecurity and the tough economic challenges we have been faced, without mentioning names? Without mentioning names.
I will tell you that there is one man that stands tall among the 4 candidates.
Okay.
Running for the presidency.
4 candidates now.
Among the 4 major candidates, which is for the PDP, the APC, the Labour Party, and the NFPP.
You are not mentioning names, please.
I'm not mentioning names.
Okay.
But without mentioning names.
Yes, I'm just re-emphasizing.
You on your own, you sit down and look at the profile, the pedigree, from the beginning to the end. It's not by social media, remarrowing. It is when the campaign starts. Like my brother have already said, when people start putting their cards on the table, what they have, it's not about lying. It's not about coming to the people to lie, to tell people that you are this or you are that. At the end of the day, like my old boss used to say, he said, I mark what you can see. The 4 of them have been in government at one time or the other, either as state governors or as vice president. So your achievement in your state will show that, yes, you can manage Nigeria. When you talk about security, you have a man who was Minister of Defense. You have a man who was Deputy Speaker. You have a man who has been 2-time Senator. You have a man who has been 2-time Governor. Who is a man who is really interested in education, who have trained thousands of, of his state and outside the state citizens of Nigeria, within Nigeria and outside Nigeria, gave them scholarship. That is a man that can rule this country. Not a man that will tell you you have to pay school fees 3 terms in a row. Not a man who was governor, could not do anything. But when we get there, like you said, we shouldn't mention it. When we get to that bridge, we are going to cross. But I know that Nigerians are not stupid.
Okay.
At the appropriate time, they will sit down and S3 these persons, put them through the machine, S3 them, wash them, and find out those who have skeleton in their cupboard. A lot of people are talking. For now, the campaign has not started. We have dossiers about persons who have been in government, who failed woefully, but they are lions wearing sheep clothes. But at the appropriate time, those people will be exposed.
Okay, talking about exposure now. We have so many youths campaigning on the internet.
Yes.
And over time, they've gotten lashes from the old order that social media cannot determine the outcome of an election. Do you agree with that?
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
If you note what is happening now, things are changing every day. Things are changing every day. Some persons still believe in the old order. That's the old politician. But this time, they are going to get the shock of their life. Things have changed. Some time ago, a certain stakeholder in the country said, these youths are handful, or rather they are inside the room, like 2-3 persons, posting using different platforms to post, letting people feel that they are actually there, you know. The moment the person made that statement, the next day you started seeing 1 million march, 2 million march everywhere in the country, and it's still ongoing now. I'm here to tell you that the youth have decided to choose their leader this time. Among all the candidates, the presidential candidates, we know the one inside who have been telling Nigeria the problem of Nigeria on how he is going to solve it. Why some are saying it's their turn, why some are saying they are from the highest majority, we're going to shock them this time. If you go to even the north, you will see what is happening. The same message is being preached everywhere. Every civilized Nigeria, they are actually advocating for a particular candidate. You say we should not mention the name.
We are not mentioning names.
The whole Nigeria know who that candidate is. He is the same person who have been telling us how our oil have been stolen. If the people in the government are not part of it, they cannot steal the oil. You cannot put crude oil inside your pockets. You cannot put crude oil inside your handset. You cannot put crude oil inside your boots. It's ships that comes to carry, they do clear them. So the ship, these same individuals are telling us our crude oil is being stolen. And they are the ones stealing it. And they are the ones still telling us. And some so-called Nigerians are still supporting these people based on what they are benefiting. We have said enough is enough. I'm going to prove it this time. The same youth you are seeing on social media, they all have PVCs. The same youth you see that they are suffering right now, the graduates who have graduated from school, no job. They are in Nigeria. They are wise. They know what to do. And sure, we are going to do it this time.
Okay, Honorable Asemota, from his submission, do you think Nigerian youth can determine the face of the next election?
Of course, because the youth have taken their destiny into their hands. But for one person to think that the youth are heading towards one direction because of 1 million march, if I want to do 5 million march in Edo State today, I will do it. I know what to do. But that does not, it's like when people go for rally, you see a lot of people, 2,000, 5,000 persons. It does not determine the vote you will get. On the day of voting, like he has said, those who does not have pedigree will get a shock out of their life. I know who my principal is. I know his pedigree. I know what he stands for.
From next week, you can mention the names.
Of course, I don't want to mention him now.
Right.
I know who my principal is. I know what he stands for. It stands for a better Nigeria. It stands for a new Nigeria that will take us to a greater height.
All right. Honorable says, recently INEC deleted over 1.1 million registrants, fresh registrants. And of course, there has been inconsistency and disparities with the 7 million people who registered actually in the past. Do you think this one will cause a source of concern to those who registered? And will it have any effect on the election?
It's not going to have any effect.
Those that were deleted from the list?
It's not going to have. Even when those people didn't register, the election will still be conducted. People have been voting before now. And these are Nigerians. They are not new Nigerians. They've been here.
So what happened to people, to those who were affected?
People who were affected, maybe what INEC told us that some of them registered again.
Double registration.
Yeah, double registration. And before the registration started, we were being lectured, we were being told the implications. So any person who goes there to register again when they already have, instead of him or her to do transfer, that's his own cup of tea, you know. So even with the ones who have already registered, who are eligible to vote, with that the election can still hold. It's either ways, it's affecting all the candidates. It's not just a particular person, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, let's come back now to Honorable Asemota. APC, some stakeholders in APC, they are insisting that Muslim ticket is a no-no for them. The election is about 5 months from now, and official campaign will be starting a few days away. Will that affect the APC?
Definitely, of course it will, because it has never been heard in the history of Nigeria. Nigeria is made up of the south and the north. Although we have Christians who are in the north, Muslims who are in the south. But often enough, we have always picked our candidates. If the presidential candidate is a Muslim, the vice should be a Christian. That is the way you can balance equity. But for you to go and pick Muslim ticket, they've already failed ab initio. That party, as far as I'm concerned, is going to be fought in the presidential election.
I know you are not an umpire.
No, that is what I know for sure that they will come forth, because that Muslim ticket will not do them any good. It is the biggest mistake, and it is the hand of God. It is God that did it for them to pick a Muslim ticket. If not, they would have been the party to beat.
But that's
but
the
that
choice.
mistake alone.
That's the choice
No,
of the party.
Fine. That's what I'm saying. It's God's doing. It's God that has pushed them to make that choice, because they bet with us a dump.
Okay.
God wanted them to be fourth in the race, so He decided to make them go and choose a Muslim, even when they were being advised. Within their party, they are even divided. Not to talk about Nigerians. And the party, APC, and every other party is not up to 2% of the Nigerian citizens. So if even within the 2%, they are divided. So you should understand what I'm saying.
But that's the ruling party.
That is the ruling. Yeah, of course, there's no party that is more than 2% population of our Nigerian population.
Okay.
Registered members.
Okay. Honorable says you want to have a reaction to that?
Yeah, sure. You see, some time ago, I was on this platform. Then I said to you that what is happening presently is spiritual. Nigeria.
Since he said it's the hand of God.
Yes, it's spiritual.
And Nigerians have been praying. I, for one, have been praying for the country. I have fasted. I have prayed for this country to be good. That's why I'm telling this line that I am. These have been my prayer. And as I speak to you now, if you go to every church, it's summer fasting. They declare months of fasting till election. They are praying for God's will to be done. How can a party in the present, look at the country, look at what is happening. A particular party went to go and pick a Muslim ticket, and they are expecting to win an election. And you even see among them, they are saying they are against this. They gave their candidate opportunity, or rather their working committee, to change it. They refused. You remember what happened in the story of Egypt when the Israelites wanted to leave? The Pharaoh was there to what God was saying. You know what happened then? That's what is happening to APC now. As I speak to you now, a lot of them, even in the PDP, they have their own. They have a terrible issue going on there. You know what's happening. And the APC, you see what is happening. And statistics was given some days ago. You saw the ranking. You saw where the Labour was, where the APC was, where the PDP was, where the NPP was, and other parties. That
was just an analysis.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's part of the politics.
Does it have a base?
Yeah, yes, it does.
Does it have an effect on the election?
Yes, the organization that came up with that, it's based on the statistics it got, based on the information they got. That's why they came up with that. And presently, you saw what is happening in the country. Even the APC, they are fighting themselves. The PDP is even worse. They are fighting themselves. Have you ever seen in this country before now where a third force comes up? It's between APC and PDP. But now the narratives have changed. And that's how the election is going to be.
Okay,
my brother, let me just add a little to what he has said. You see, when those God wants to punish, they will make them...
But there are some words we don't use on air.
Okay, those that God does not want to rule us anymore, God will make them deaf. Yes. They can't even listen to the voice of wisdom. You can imagine, I will repeat it anytime, any day. You have only two parties contesting for the presidential election. Only two parties. As of today, they are the two parties that Nigerians are going to pick from. And without missing word.
And without mentioning the names of these
I'm not going to mention it. Without mentioning missing word. You can imagine Muslim ticket. Another party is having a bishop as a vice president. The same party is having a man who is highly respected in the whole of the North as a presidential candidate. So you can't beat that pair as of today. But we are not mentioning it. But we are going to. And the Nigerians in general.
I don't know where you are going.
Nigerians in general know the people I'm talking about.
I don't know
the only bishop that is a vice president in the race,
Okay, now, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, if you don't know, the other people have a bishop.
I don't have to pursue. I want to pursue.
No, you mention APC. No, if you mention APC.
We have a pastor.
If you mention APC, and we are discussing APC, And
no, you don't have to say that.
And I can also mention NPP. NPP has a bishop as a vice president. He's not a pastor. He's not a follow. He's a bishop and he's a general overseer of a church for over 33 years.
Okay,
and he's highly recognized in the Christian world.
Honorable Asemota, I'm still with you.
Yes.
Let me pause you now. INEC, we must give it to them. We saw what played out in the recent elections in Osun and Ekiti.
Of course.
And of course, we saw how the Electoral Act came into being and some of the mechanisms put in place. Should we expect a free and fair election when it comes to next year?
Well, from the antecedent, from the Osun election, I have a lot of hope that there's going to be free and fair election. If things remain like this, you know, we're in Nigeria, when these bourgeois find out that things are not working their way because they are already testing the water, they will want to come out with another formation. But believe me, whatever formation or formula they are coming out with, we know them, they know us. We are going to tag them. If they are using 4-2-4, we'll use 4-2-6. Whatever formation they want to use.
Football for
yes.
Does it apply in politics?
Of course, football and politics is vice versa.
Okay.
You understand? I'm sorry I'm using that because football is my first constituency.
It's okay.
So that is why
it's okay.
I'm using that. So whatever formation they want to use, we will come out with a counter formation that will beat their formation because it will never be business as usual. Right. Never.
Okay, we are wrapping up now. Let's come to Honorable Says. The rift between Atiku and Wike, it seems like it's really falling on deaf ears. Recently, the Wike group actually pulled out of the Atiku campaign team. Now, the issue between Atiku and Wike, will it affect the PDP? In your honest submission.
It has already started affecting. You know, some of us who believe in God will pray. We said the camp of the adversary. There's confusion in their midst. That's what is happening in the PDP. Because they were given opportunity to fix this country. They messed up completely. No, we
will take down that word.
Okay. Now, what is happening in PDP today? It's power to zone. I want to be in charge. I want to be in charge. Such people cannot rule the country. If you listen to my candidate, my presidential candidate, he said we should not mention the party.
We are not.
Okay, the candidate who tells Nigeria their problem and how we solve
hopefully next week after the official campaign has been released.
That is the candidate I'm talking about. The one who's telling us how our oils have been stolen, how he's going to stop them, how they have been embezzling our money, how he's going to fix the country, how he's going to make our kids go back to school. That's my candidate. That's the person I'm working for. That same person have told us what is said to do. If you watch, they are actually what they fight in PDP right now, because you mentioned the name. The fight in PDP right now is to his advantage. It's to his advantage.
To whose advantage?
To the candidate that is telling Nigeria their problem, telling the graduates who don't have job how he's going to create job for them. That's the candidate. I don't have to mention the name. Nigeria knows the candidate. It's the same person who have not been to some states yet. Over millions of youth in every state are mobilizing for him. He has not been there. He don't know what is happening. As it stands now, he cannot even control the crowd. That's how he's being addressed. You know who that candidate is. I don't have to mention his name. He's the one I'm working for. He's the one I'm supporting. Let's
get to Honorable Asemota. Honorable Asemota, he actually said this particular candidate can't control this youth. If this person eventually gets the seat of power, will he be able to tame the Nigerian youths?
Who?
He's talking about a candidate who is actually having huge support.
He asked. If you have started mentioning names, I will mention names.
I actually asked the question. I thought you had technical.
Listen, it's not that hard. I was only being dramatic about it because I don't think there's any other person who controls the Nigerian youth better than Dr. Rabi Kwankwaso, who have trained thousands of Nigerians with evidence, with scholarship. It's not by just saying, all these people that have disappointed us, have they not told us how they want to fix Nigeria? Is it by just saying it? It's not by just saying it, it's by doing it. I can come here to tell you, this studio, I want to change it to look like CNN, I will put a condition here, I will tie roads from Lagos to
absolutely, we are getting there.
A lot of people have said that, but they didn't do anything. It's not by talking. It is what have you done. When you were governor, what did you do? That will first of all tell us.
No. You have the floor. You have the floor. Go ahead, Honorable.
Even the question I asked you,
you have the floor. Go ahead.
So, my brother, if a man says he's interested in education, when you were governor, how many people did you give scholarship to? This is a man who also said you must pay 3 times school fees before your children can go to school. Is that a man that is going to change Nigeria? Is that a man that is interested in education? Whereas we have a candidate of somebody like Dr. Musa Kwankwaso who gives more than 2,000 scholarships to people, even pilots.
Right,
the evidence are there. We don't need to hide it.
Thank you.
You understand?
Thank you.
So,
thank you. Honorable Asemota, thank you so much. I think at this point, we'll be taking your final note. Like I said, we are not projecting any party. Please, let's just have that in mind. Honorable says, your final take on the show as we begin to wrap up. Final take on the show.
But the question you asked about Wiki, I need to talk about that.
Oh, you want to respond?
Yeah,
he actually gave his submission, and that is his opinion.
Okay.
Yes. So if you are taking your final take, you can actually have that. Let's go with you.
Okay.
Quickly. You have less than 30 seconds, please.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm here to tell the Nigerians today that enough is enough of what is happening. They should go out there and vote who they believe that will change the narrative of politics in Nigeria.
Thank you, Honorable Sess. Honorable Semota.
Yeah, thank you. You see, you said something about Wike. Like I
only asked the question, the rift between Wike and Atiku really affect the PDP.
It was a question. It is God's doing.
Okay.
I will still put everything to God because God is in Nigeria today, trying to fix things. If you look at the 4 political parties today, the only major one, the only party that has not had rank on is NAPP. The Labour Party, there are 2 factions fighting for chairmanship.
Honorable Asemota, no tongue glashing. Wrap up now. You have to wrap up now. Please wrap up.
When somebody was saying APC government did not do well,
please wrap up.
Is it at worst as when you say people are fighting?
Okay.
You say Wike and Atiku is fighting. So can't you mention another party that is fighting? Your disputes are all over. The internet the case is in court.
I will take
people are in court. You say it's not a easy thing. Then too, today. There is fight in PDP, there is fight in APC, there is fight in Labour Party. Only the NPP there is no fight.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Nigerians look forward for the NPP candidate.
No, you don't. I will take that down. We will not accept that on the show. Thank you so much. Well, it has been awesome having you people on the show. It's just that I was just wondering how the both of you came on this show this morning. Thank you so much.
I will still refer that it is God.
Okay.
The two.
It's okay. Thank you, Honorable Asemota.
These are the 2 parties.
Honorable Asemota, thank you so much. And Honorable says. Honorable says. Thank you. Please, gentlemen, please. This is a live show, please. Thank you so much. All right, thank you. Well, this is where we'll be taking a short break now. And Favor Sarah will be joining me so we can take the final lap on the show. Please don't go nowhere.